Just a minute for everyone to get in from the waiting room. As a reminder, please mute yourself. Good afternoon. This is a hearing before the Licensing Board for the City of Boston. Today is Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. Today's hearing is being conducted pursuant to certain temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. Before we begin, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Thank you, Leslie. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm chair of the Licensing Board. I would like to introduce my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Kiana Saxon.
Thank you. As a reminder, please mute yourself unless you are presenting to the board or testifying. We will take each item in the order it appears on the agenda. I will read the item into the record, after which I will ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. After that, you can present to the board, followed by questions from the chairwoman and commissioners. Following the presentation and questions, we will take public testimony, beginning with elected officials and their representatives. Please note your public testimony will be limited to 2 minutes. Again, please keep yourself on mute unless you are presenting. For the record, item 13, Real House Oyster Bar Seapoint LLC, located at 50 Liberty Drive, has been removed from the agenda. That is not an application for a new license, but is a transfer application and will be re-noticed and reheard at a later date. Calling it BW Cafe LLC, doing business as Lily's Coffee and Cafe, located at 33 Arch Street, has applied for a common Vitular license to be exercised on the above lobby level to-go cafe. Manager Mevzad Durakovic, hours of operation 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Attorney Ryan Gazda.
Good afternoon, Attorney Delaney Hawkins, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty sitting in for Ryan today. This matter is a CV app for 33 Arch. Mr. Durakovic is with us, I hope and presume. The site was previously a lobby area coffee shop that had gone out of business. Mr. Durakovic and his business partners own and operate a number of restaurants in the downtown area. Saw this opportunity and wanted to take advantage of it. They have met with the mayor's, they've discussed this with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. They've met with the bid. I can see Mr. Meyer is on board this afternoon, as well as the downtown residents, and have had no opposition from anybody that we're aware of at this point in time. Mr. Durakovic, are you with us? Oh.
I do not see him, but as this is CV food only, the manager's record is not required to be present.
Right, perfect. So obviously, yes, ma'am.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to confirm that there's no seats. It's all to go.
Yes, ma'am. It's the lobby of this building was just renovated, and I'm sure Mr. Meyer, who's a neighbor to the space, probably tell you all about it. But yeah, it's just a lobby, services mostly the building and neighboring buildings, in the area.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
No, thank you.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Lisa High with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. They have support from the Downtown Boston Residents Association, as well as the Downtown Boston bid, as mentioned, and the Mayor's Office would like to go on record to support. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support. We have heard no concerns from the abutters or neighbors, and we also received a letter of support from the bid as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify?
Afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Doug Meyer from the Downtown Boston bid. As noted by others, we did execute a support letter for this proposal, and following up on Attorney Quilty, relatively recently, the landlord executed a very dramatic, much needed lobby makeover there. It's much brighter, it's just much more appealing and inviting, and we think this coffee shop will greatly complement that for when all the many 33 Arch Street office workers return to the office, hopefully sooner rather than later. For all these reasons, we support this proposal.
Thanks,
Doug.
Any other individuals who wish to testify? Seeing no one, the board will take this matter under advisement.
Leslie, I have one more question. Is it going to only be opened up Monday through Friday?
I believe so. I
I see your
It
client. Your
it
client
might
is
be open on a Saturday, till midday kind of a
Okay.
thing. I think that's kind of a decision they'll make as they go along. Probably at first, it would only be during the business week, but there
okay.
may be enough call on a Saturday, for example, to be open to midday.
Okay.
The planning for right now is just to be open Monday to Friday, and then there is any reason to be open maybe for a weekend, we will, but definitely Monday to Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. The board will take this matter under advisement.
Thank you.
Calling 5 NSQ LLC, holder of a common vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the doing business as of the licensed business from Ciao Bella to Ciao Roma. Attorney William Ferrula.
Good afternoon, members of the board. This is a request to change a DBA from what had been Ciao Bella to Ciao Roma. Simple reason is Ciao Bella was the name of a restaurant that did business in the city for many years on Newbury Street. The owner of that restaurant has decided to go back in business on Boylston Street and requested of our client that they be able to use the name Ciao Bella again. Our client has agreed to that, and in return has changed his name to Ciao Roma. No changes in the operation of the restaurant, just the allowing of the name to go to a different restaurant that'll be on Boylston Street.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that. I have no questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is John Romano from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We'd like to go on record in support of the project.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? Seeing no one, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling Seapoint Inc., doing business as the Seapoint, located at 367 East 8th Street. Holder of a common vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Mary T. Conley to Mona Conley Casper. Attorney Carolyn Conway.
Good afternoon, all. I believe Mona is on. She's muted right now. This has been basically a family-run restaurant for many generations. Mona is an American citizen. She lives in South Boston, Massachusetts, and has been actually managing and operating with her family for over 25 years. So where she's now coming on board as the official manager of the Seapoint.
Thank you, Attorney Conway. I'm just going to ask the last question for the record. Mona, are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes, Madam Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? Seeing no one, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling BBRG TR LLC, doing business as Abe and Louie's, located at 777 to 793 Boylston Street. Holder of a common vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Samantha Reynolds to David Wilson. Attorney Stephen Miller.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Marcy Costa on behalf of the applicant McDermott, Quilty and Miller. David Wilson has been working in the restaurant industry for the better part of 15 years. He's a U.S. citizen and a Massachusetts resident, and he is familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol.
Thank you very much, Attorney Costa. And I see Mr. Wilson here, so I have no questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? Seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement. Calling BBRG Waterfront TR LLC, doing business as Joe's American Bar and Grill, located at 100 Atlantic Avenue. Holder of a common vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Claude Pelage to Samantha Reynolds. Attorney Costa.
Thank you again. Samantha Reynolds is on the call as well. She is previously approved by this board to be the manager of record. She was previously the manager at Avon Louis. So she is an American citizen, Mass resident, and is aware of all of the necessary rules and regulations.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? Seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bar Taco Fort Point LLC, doing business as Bar Taco, located at 25 Thompson Place. Holder of a common Vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Hector Tovar to Don Bailey. Is the licensee present?
Yes, I am.
Please state your name for the record.
Don Bailey.
Hi, Mr. Bailey. You're going to be the new manager of record?
Yes, and I'm a previous listed approved license holder, most recently with Banners at 8082 Causeway in Boston. I'm a resident of Massachusetts, 22 years of experience, and have been with Bar Taco actually on and off as director level for 5.5 years.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any questions for Mr. Bailey. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? Seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you. Calling Cami 1975 Corporation, doing business as Melodias, located at 1045 Saratoga Street. Holder of a common Vitular 7-day wine and malt beverages license, has petitioned to amend the closing hour of the licensed business from 10 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. Is the applicant present?
Yes, I am.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Carlos. My last name is Cespedes, Cespedes.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Cespedes. Could you explain to the board the reason for the change in the closing hour?
The reason is as simple as we've been affected because our closing hours is 10. So when we have like our late diners, people who come to eat late, like around 8:30, 9, is not enough time for them to enjoy the dinner, and that is affecting our business a lot. We don't have many lunch customers right now, so that's the reason. It's a need for us to keep going on business.
Okay. So could you give me an idea of your business model? Do you have entertainment? Do you have a dance floor, or is this strictly food?
No. It's a family-oriented business. We just, I wish I can walk you to the restaurant right now. I'm in the basement right now, and then you can see it's a totally family environment. I attached to the petition support letters, and we just got those support letters yesterday in the morning. People is very happy with us here. It's only family is dinner. It's nothing to do with liquor. Is just to companion the food. We have only beer and wine, and our base is have families here. We don't want to deal with any other people who likes to drink, basically.
Thank you very much. I don't have any more questions for you today, but I'm going to check with Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon.
Not at the moment.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. Lina Tramelli with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We would like to go on the record in support for this proposal. The Office of Neighborhood Services held an unbiased meeting of March 12, 2020, where there were no concerns and the attendees expressed strong support for this proposal. We also received 22 letters of support from abutters and residents of Orient Heights. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials who wish to testify? Are there any other individuals who, sorry, Ms. Oliveros, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Gladys Oliveros from East Boston Main Streets, and I'm totally support this restaurant. Please be on record that I'm supporting it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other individuals who wish to testify? Seeing no one, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling Jimothy LLC, doing business as Rosa Lyons, located at 709 East Broadway. Holder of a common Vitular 7-day wine and malt beverages with liqueurs license, has petitioned for a change of ownership interest. Attorney Kristen Scanlon.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Kristen Scanlon representing the licensee. I know Robert Fitzharris, who is the owner and manager of record, is signed on today as well. The application before you is a change of ownership interest with an approximate change of 30% of owners from Mr. Fitzharris still being the majority member. He's actually going from 60% to 70% ownership interest, and removing 2 other LLC members and adding 2 new ones at 20 and 10% respectively. Again, Mr. Fitzharris remains the majority owner and primary person in charge of the establishment, and there are no other changes proposed for the operations of the restaurant.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals present who wish to testify? The board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you. South Boston Candlepins, Inc., doing business as South Boston Candlepins, located at 543 East Broadway. Holder of a common Vitular 7-day wine and malt beverages license, has petitioned for a change of officers, directors of the corporation. Secondly, has petitioned for a change of stock interest. Lastly, has petitioned for a change in ownership interest. Is the applicant present?
Hi there, this is John Tunney with South Boston Candlepins. How you doing?
Good, thank you for joining us. Could you explain to the board what you're proposing?
So I'm proposing, I'm buying the business from my parents who bought it or have owned it for 30 years, and I am taking over for them due to COVID. Some issues arose and I needed to help them. They're still the landowners and I have a lease with them. So that's how we're going to operate moving forward.
Okay, thank you. And no change to operations? The manager of record is remaining the same?
No, I've been the manager for the past 10 years for them.
Okay.
Nothing will be changing. Day to day will remain the exact same.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tunney. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
Is there anyone present who wishes to testify regarding this application? Seeing no one, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling AOB Corp., doing business as L Street Diner and Pizzeria, located at 108 L Street. Holder of a common Vitular 7-day malt and wine license, has petitioned for a change of officers, directors. Secondly, has petitioned for a change of stock interest. Lastly, has petitioned for a change of the manager of the licensed business from Arjan Hysenaj to Hani Youssef. Attorney Thomas Truax.
Chair, members of the board, Madam Secretary, Attorney Tom Truax here on behalf of the applicant AOB Corporation. With me is Mr. Hani Youssef. He's the new stockholder, director officer of the corporation. He's also the proposed new license manager. The underlying transaction is 100% transfer of stock. He is purchasing over the full 100% shares of stock. The seller is financing a little over 60% of the purchase. Mr. Youssef comes before you with around 6-7 years of experience in the liquor industry. He worked 2 years at a liquor store in Westboro, Turnpike Liquors. He worked 2 years at a liquor store, Divine Liquors in Southborough. And he's also been working at L Street Diner for a little over 2 years, 3 years. He is a U.S. citizen. He is a Mass resident. He obviously had experience in the beer and food and beverage industry. He's also familiar with the rules and regulations of the ABCC and your board and to the sale and service of alcohol.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Truax. I don't have any questions for you or Mr. Youssef, Commissioner Curran, or Commissioner Saxon.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Seeing no one, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling Thailand International Corporation, doing business as House of Siam, located at 542 Columbus Avenue. Holder of a common Vitular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned for a change of officers, directors. Secondly, has petitioned for a change of stock ownership interest. Lastly, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from James Rogers to Pichara Srizuk. Attorney Kong Nguyen. Nugent.
Good afternoon, everybody. Conway here on behalf of Thailand International Corporation. Actually, we were here before the board in February. This is a change, and the only change today is now Pachara is also buying 50% of the restaurant. So so the change is that she's the manager, and then she's also going to be buying 50% of the restaurant. And Mr. Wang Jiangtip, who is also here, inherited the restaurant from his spouse who is deceased.
Okay.
And so she has, more than 10 years experience in this restaurant, and is familiar with the rules and regulations of the board, and is familiar with the rules and regulations regarding alcohol.
Okay. Attorney Nguyen, is she, or Pachara, are you, I just want to get the other questions on the record. Are you a citizen?
Yes.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes.
And just wanted to make sure we got all the stuff for the fourth question on the record. Are you also familiar with the rules and regulations of the ABCC?
Yes, because
Okay.
I study and I have more than 15 years in the restaurant. So I study a lot of law and regulation about alcohol beverage in Massachusetts.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. I don't have any questions, Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling 1318 Inc., doing business as Best Little Restaurant located at 13 Hudson Street. Holder of a common Vitular 7-day wine and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to New Wings Kitchen Inc., doing business as Wings Kitchen at the same location. Xiling Situ Manager, 1 a.m. closing hour. Is the applicant present?
My name is Albert Lee. We have the owner, Mr. Kwan, to speak for this application. We are trying to ask to transfer the existing beer and wine with liquor. I think a little different with your prescription. That's only beer and wine. This is beer and wine with liquor 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. And we're gonna have the manager, Xiling Shito, going to operate under the CIP certification.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we do have that as the description. No,
It's
or do-
wine
you know,
and more
this is
beverage
malt.
liquor. Not just a wine, not
Okay.
just wine and more beverage with liquor.
We can follow up with you. That's not a problem, sir. We'll
Okay, thank
confirm
you.
the
I
license.
just want to clarify that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and the manager of record, Xiling, is with you?
Yes.
Um, Thank you. Xiling, are you a citizen?
Yes.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes.
Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of the Boston Licensing Board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application?
Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councilor Flink's office. It is our understanding that it's just a transfer of new business, but we do understand also that they are going to go to the neighborhood association tonight. So the councilor will be sending a letter to the board depending on how that meeting goes, but we don't anticipate any issues. We just wanted to let the board know. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? Seeing no one, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 13 has been removed from the agenda. Calling Ebo & Co. Grocery LLC, doing business as Ebo & Co. Grocery, located at 110 Meridian Street, has applied for a retail package store malt and wine license to be exercised on the above 1,400 square feet in one room on ground level, approximately 640 square feet on first floor, with main entrance exit on Meridian Street, approximately 760 square feet of basement space for minimal retail, storage, and office space. Manager Core Alexis Servasio, closing hour 9 p.m. Attorney Kristen Scanlon. Attorney Scanlon, you are muted.
Thank you for that. Good afternoon again, Madam Chair, members of the board. Kristen Scanlon representing the applicant, and signed on with us is the owner and manager of record, Alexis Servasio. I'm not sure where the core came from on the listing, but just to let the record reflect, the core is not part of her name. This proposal before you this afternoon is for a new specialty neighborhood grocery market at 110 Meridian Street in East Boston. By way of background and introduction to Alexis a bit, she has a very strong background in hospitality. She went to UMass Amherst for food and beverage management and has worked in the restaurant industry since she could legally work, starting as a hostess in the North End and eventually working her way up through the industry as a server, bartender, and manager at various locations in and around Boston. So really has extensive experience in all facets of the hospitality industry. Alexis has lived in East Boston for about a decade, and when she first moved there, there was a missing element for her that she and a lot of people she knew in the industry were looking for. But at the time, with a full-time job and a young son, she only had a slice of time to do something a little bit creative. So initially, about 6 years ago, East Boston Oysters was born, where she started doing a series of pop-up events around East Boston and along the waterfront, where she would collaborate with different oyster farmers and throw shucking events. She started thinking about opening a store about 5 years ago, and now that her son's a little bit older, she's ready to do that. And being a resident here, like I said, she's felt that while there are a lot of traditional markets, there's really no place currently for this type of provisions that she's looking to offer. And she wants to be able to grab and go and have other people be able to do so with specialty grocery items. She's made a lot of connections in the industry and in the neighborhood, and knows it's something that many would agree on, that there's a gap currently in the East Boston marketplace for a small shop like this. As far as offerings are concerned, like I said, this is a bit of a specialty grocery store where she'll offer cheeses, meats, oysters, and caviar. She actually has her own caviar line. And in addition, everyday items like produce, milk, bread, eggs, dry goods, frozen fish and meats, stuff you can grab and cook that night. Additionally, she'll even have home goods sprinkled in, of course, shucking knives, glassware, coffee and tea, tons of condiments, that sort of thing. As far as the wine and beer program is concerned, with wines, a little bit of everything, focused on lesser known wines and a highlight on natural wines, which is currently missing in the area, and which has gained a lot of traction the last few years. And as far as beer is concerned, a well-curated small selection, Modelo's, intense sours, and fun local ales. Probably limited selection because of the size of the store, maybe only 10 different kinds. As mentioned in the legal ad, the size of the store itself is about 640 square feet on the ground floor and has a small nook downstairs where she'll hopefully be able to have experiential offerings, allowing people to taste what they're purchasing as far as the caviar and cheeses and meats and that's oysters are concerned. Her whole goal is to make things more approachable, which she really believes is the best way to do so, by giving someone the ability to try it before they buy it. The hours of operation will be daily, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And Alexis is tip certified and will have everyone that works for her. She'll be there full time, but anyone that works for her will be tip certified and IDing everyone that comes in to purchase any beer or wine. As far as public need is concerned, again, filling a gap in the neighborhood for this type of specialty store. There's no market quite like it in the neighborhood, and currently filling a vacant storefront at this location. It is a small footprint, a true neighborhood feel, and will only serve to complement the surrounding area. There are nearby traditional convenience stores and a couple of markets, but again, different offerings than what Alexis is looking to provide. We did do extensive community outreach with the mayor's office a butters meeting, and we sent the board probably 24 or so letters of support, along with a letter of strong support from the Maverick Central Neighborhood Association as well.
Thank you, Attorney. I just want to cover two of the manager record questions. I'm not sure, you may have hit them, but I may have missed them. Alexis, are you a citizen?
Yes.
And are you familiar with the rules and regs of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of liquor?
I am. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have questions?
Just one small question about downstairs. There's going to be someone full-time downstairs, or just how is it going to be staffed?
Sure. So the downstairs will not always be open, but it's primarily on the ground floor is where all of our offerings will be. But there is a nook downstairs that I envision using for, tasting events. And so that would be maybe a special 2-hour slot that we offer to the neighborhood. So yeah, it won't be a full-time situation downstairs.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. Lina Tramelli with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We would like to go on the record in support for this proposal. During the community process, this proposal received strong support from Maverick Central Neighborhood Association, and as well, we received 20 letters of support from Beverages. Thank you.
Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this application?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Ricardo Patron from the Office of City Councilor Lydia Edwards. The council would also like to go on the record in support.
Thank you. Any other individuals who wish to testify? Seeing no one, the board will take this matter under advisement. Those are all the items before the board today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.